my opinion or my voice wasn't being heard out as much. I was just painted labels or targets at, and I was being known for all the wrong things that were happening and not the good things that I actually am for. So I react to most of the situations in my life on an emotional front, which, as for a businessman, it's a big no. I did hear my inner voice telling me that, yes, so what if they didn't let you enter into that car? You make sure you get a Ferrari to the same spot and stand. 9 out of 10 times, my inner voice is right. I could actually give it 10 out of 10, but I don't want to jinx it. I may struggle, but I will not give up. I will not give up.
Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Spotted. We're here with another Phoenix today who is a rare species. And he is rare because he is somebody who has gone through a journey which feels like an entire lifetime in a very short span of time. He is somebody you can look into his journey and understand what happens when you listen to your inner voice, when you start listening to yourself and how much your life can transform. He's somebody who's resilient. He's somebody who does not believe in giving up and always finds a way to figure out things and make things happen in his favor. So, welcoming Akash. Let's have you introduce yourself, Akash.
Hey everybody, my name is Akash. I'm 25 years old. I'm based out of Bangalore, and I run a business. That's all I can share. Yeah.
What kind of business do you run?
I'm into the infrastructure industry where we predominantly handle contracts from state and central government. We take the projects from the government, we execute the work, and we hand over the projects once as a finished good to the department. When I mean infrastructure, I can simplify it into we either construct roads, bridges, buildings, canals. So it's a pure technical field that we're into. We deal with the execution portion of it. Planning and other things are done by other people, but the execution portion of it is what is taken care of by us.
So you're learning and managing the firm at the same time?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what age did you start at?
I started when I was 19 years old.
On that note, let's get into how did you find out about empowered body, mind, soul? Because it was around the same time, right?
Yes, it was around the same time. I was a kid who didn't have his priorities, the top three priorities, like how my dad tells me to have your top three priorities sorted out in life. And I would not ask you for what your four, five, six are, even if you have fun all the time. So all along my life, I was just the kid who was having fun, going about taking life one day at a time, YOLO, uh, which probably ended up me in situations that were very harsh and very cruel to me at that point, because of my own actions, not because anyone did anything to me. Uh, which is when probably for a good 6 to 8 months or almost a year, I felt cornered. I felt my story or my opinion or my voice wasn't being heard out as much. I was just painted labels or targets at, and I was being known for all the wrong things that were happening and not the good things that I actually am for. So there were certain points of time where I could handle all of these emotions by myself, and I didn't need anyone's support. But after one point, it did get too overwhelming in processing. Like not processing, it was too overwhelming to process at that point, and I wanted to seek out for professional help. That is when I started looking for, and yes, I happened to come across Empowered.
And you took the final action when you were in the hospital with COVID.
Yes, yes. So credit to be given to a dear friend of a very dear friend of mine who shared who actually pushed me towards taking therapy or whatever you'd like to call it, counseling or therapy or talking seeking professional help. So she shared me about three numbers, and that's when I picked Empowered Mind, Body, Mind, and Soul, because I like Manali's name because it happened to associate with a place that I really hold close to my heart. It's one of my favorite travel destinations. That is how I picked Empowered Body, Mind, Soul. And yes, I did schedule my first call in September 2021. Yes, when I was admitted in the hospital during COVID.
Right. So you were just talking about you had a lot of overwhelming emotions and you just wanted to kind of open up and speak up about those, right? So
Yes.
how did the session support you with those?
Well, initially, you just want some person to listen to you, irrespective of whether you're right or wrong, do this or that. You don't want solutions. So you just want to vent out everything that's there in you. I was doing that for most parts to myself when I was in my room or on my terrace or when I was driving my car, but it doesn't really feel uh, like complete if there's not another person who's listening to you in front. So for most parts of the initial days of my sessions with Empowered, it was just about being want to like someone has to hear what I have to say, be it right or wrong, whether I'm correct or I'm wrong, or whether I've actually done something wrong in that situation. But just hear me out, and I don't mind taking the punishment, but just hear me. That was predominantly how the session started off. Slowly, it transitioned into seeing things from different perspectives and not only be a one-sided thing. uh, that helped me gain clarity with respect to a lot of situations, or why I ended up in the situations that I did. Uh, the third one was probably one of the most difficult things for me to undergo, was accept things the way they are, even though you don't like it. And only when you accept things can you make progress or see change. So the acceptance phase took some time, but that eventually did pass through, and I started seeing a lot of results that I didn't think that were possible in my life. Yeah.
So if you talk about a few of those sessions, there was one specific activity that was told to you, right? To write down a list of your qualities so that you can
Yes.
connect with yourself better.
Yes. Yes. So it started off with an activity where I had to stand in front of. There's a pretext to it. There was a situation where I had to stand in front of a mirror and I had to tell whatever comes to my mind when I look at myself. And I told about 4 or 5 things, and I do remember that all 5 things were negative about whatever I said. Be it how I looked, how I wanted my hair to be, what my the tone of my skin color would be. Uh, and then I realized I got an activity where I had to list down 100 qualities of myself that I resonate to. And I was actually surprised that I have 100 qualities. Uh, it took me a lot of time and effort. I still haven't completed the 100 qualities, it's still at 76. But that gave me a lot of perspective of you don't need another person to uh, give you that credit or uh,
Appreciation.
the appreciation from another person for what you're doing. As long as you realize that you have that in you, the sooner you realize that, the better it is. You'll save yourself from a lot of emotional breakdowns.
So I'm sure you still have certain emotional breakdowns, right?
Yep.
And do you handle them better now, or is it still the same way that you used to handle them?
Well, there are majority of the times I the pretext to it is I'm a very, like I react to most of the situations in my life on an emotional front, which as for a businessman it's a big no, as you can't think from or take your decisions based out of emotions. That is still a work in progress for me to able to understand how to channelize my emotions in the right way. uh, there are situations when I handle it beautifully well, and there are situations when the decisions go haywire. But it's a learning process. I'm still, it's a work in progress. Like,
Okay. So something that I really appreciate in you is that you listen to your inner voice. So
Yes.
when did you really start listening to your inner voice across these years?
It actually started off from probably when I was a kid, where, if I'm not wrong, I was about 5 or 6 years old. If I'm not, yeah, 5 or 6 years old when I was in my native. It was a remote village in the neighboring district where my mother and father are from, and there was a brand new Tata Sumo that was there, and I wanted to enter into that car, but they didn't let me. For what reasons I don't know. And that day I decided, like that day, when I sat by myself, like yes, I did hear my inner voice telling me that yes. So what if they didn't let you enter into that car? You make sure you get a Ferrari to the same spot and stand there. So that is how I. That's probably the first memory of uh, I having an inner voice talking to me. And over the years, I probably talk to myself with respect to any situation that I want to. And so it's not surprising, but 9 out of 10 times my inner voice is right. I could actually give it 10 out of 10, but I don't want to jinx it as much as it's doing wonders to me. But yes.
So did your inner voice guide you to get onto the Wintend journey?
Yes, it actually did, because of the kind of results I was seeing from me taking therapy or counseling at that point of time. Uh, I did come across the program called Vintent, and I liked how it was structured. And at that point of time, I was open to what do you say, learning new things or creative things in life, which the program itself looked very creative as to how one can function as a human being. So that is probably one of the reasons why I picked not empowered, sorry, the Vintan program. That
So as you transitioned into the Wintend program, what changes happened in your life?
uh, I started seeing a lot of, like, I started getting a lot of clarity in all aspects of my life, not just one. Probably therapy and counseling got me clarity with respect to my emotional and my mental state of mind, but Vinten gave me clarity with respect to, if I'm allowed to say, the seven different the major seven qualities of how a human being can function, be it professional, be it materialistic needs, be it relationships, be it activities, hobbies, or self care, be it having a vision in life, be it connecting to your higher self or being spiritual with respect to that. For most parts of it, I did get clarity as to how one can simplify their life down and get track of things, because at every point of time one would feel like you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that. If you are able to get clarity as to how to structure each one of them, that is one thing that I'm grateful for Vinten. It taught me how to simplify my life in general.
So did Wintend also enable you and equip you in handling everything that was happening in your day-to-day life?
Well, it did. It actually covered a lot of things that it actually covered the little things that mattered. Where there's a set of prayers that we do in Vintent, which actually helps me. I'm going to speak on behalf of me in this situation. It helps me keep uh, a sane state of mind, because goes without saying every human being experiences overthinking or their beautiful mind telling them a lot of things. These prayers actually help you keep your mental state of mind grounded at all point of time. It's just a diligent routine. Probably when you were going to we've all done this at one point of time. It's just that we've forgotten on the way that how important they are. We've all done prayers in school, and back then we didn't realize how important they are. reminding of what the prayers do. That is one process. And in general, about how to keep myself planned. Like I usually like to keep a year planned, and I post taking therapy and post starting business, I like to keep my year structured. Winton gave me a way where I could structure my year out with clarity, and I knew at what time I would be doing what. So that helped. So it's helping me live a life with purpose or aim. Like I have a goal, and I'm walking towards that goal every single day.
And have you been ticking off everything on your structure and plan?
Most of it. I've not been quite regular in the past a couple in the past year or so, which is also one of the things that I'm working on right now is consistency in all aspects of my life. I was that person who saw immediate results and was blown away by what it can do, and I chose not to act on, thinking that it can be the same, or it is going to be the same easy route every single time. So yes, consistency is something that I have to work on, but so far whatsoever consciously I have put down on my list, I have ticked them off. Yes, I have. Be it
You
like
want to share?
the most, see, with due respect, God has been kind enough so I could achieve with the support of my family, I could achieve most of my materialistic goals at a very early age. I'm still grateful. I'm probably ever grateful for that. uh, the biggest challenge was the kind of relationships I used to share, particularly relationships at home. uh, if I'm allowed to say, I didn't share I actually shared a very healthy relationship with my sister initially. Before we had a rough patch, I mean, every relationship has a rough patch. So it ended up in me having to not have a conversation with my sister for most parts for a good 3 4 years, if I'm not wrong. And that has been one of my biggest wins, where from that, I could accept the kind of situations that took place, understood why it happened, what was the motive or what was the intention of another person, even though their actions were wrong, but their intentions were right. I can happily tell that I share one of the best relationships with my sister today. And there's another relationship that I'm working at, which is which probably I'll be honest, I haven't given it as much as effort that I gave with my sister. Had I given it as much as effort, that relationship would have also been going well as of now. But that's one of the things that's on my top priority list, to get it done as soon as possible. Yes.
You've been consistent with your relationships. You have been consistent with your work and your other playful manifestations as well.
Yes. Playful manifestations. Yes. I have been consistent with respect.
Give a few sharings, please.
Uh, The Martin Garrix incident was a playful manifestation that I did. Not a lot of people are aware of what happened that day. I just put out a thought that music is something that saved, I wouldn't say saved, but supported me throughout a long part of my life, when I was going through all of these turmoils. And of course, Martin Garrix was one of them. Just put a thought out that day that whatsoever happens in 2023 March, that when he was coming on his India tour, when he was in Bangalore, I want to do anything and everything but have to greet that person, just so I want to show that gratitude to him, that you were one of the reasons for me to keep myself sane and throughout this entire process, get me till here. I put out a thought that I want to meet him. He was in Bangalore for 2 days. I didn't know where he'd be staying, what he'd be doing, how to access him. Long story short, I made sure, like I'll quickly rewind. Everyone knows that in a five-star hotel, you need a key to access any floor. So I was given a certain time, which information was actually very false. It was false at that point. So I was given an information to meet him on the 16th floor of a hotel. Little did I know I couldn't get access to that without the key. And I just happened to enter the lift. Another person entered the lift, and I happened to press the floor 10. I pressed 16, it didn't work. So I had to end up going in the floor that he was. The lift stopped in the eighth floor. And when the lift door opened, I see Mr. Martin Garrix right in front of me. And even before he could step in, I stepped out of the lift and the lift closed. So I got a good 5 to 8 minutes with him in the lobby without any single person. And I took a photo frame on which I got his autograph. So that is one of the things. Probably, if I would tell any single person, I mean, what were the odds that I would enter the lift at that particular time? What were the odds that that lift would stop on the eighth floor at that particular time and he would come a second here or there would have made a lot of difference. So manifestation is real if you put in the right intention and if you have clarity with respect to what you want, manifestation is real.
All right, beautifully put. So, what other things are you manifesting for this coming year then?
This coming year, probably I'd want to stabilize my work or the professional front of the business because we've been driving exponentially crazy in the past 4 years. And uh, with due respect, I feel like I want to take a break for some time, not as in get out of work, but stabilize and enjoy the kind of phase or the growth that we've attained in the past 4 years. Uh, and and probably yes, uh, fix my relationship with my mother. That is the relationship that I was talking about. If that is done, probably I'll be in the most healthiest space to welcome in someone in my life, if at all that is a possibility. But yes, I do want to welcome a partner in my life this year. This
Awesome.
year or on, like whenever it
Coming
happens.
future.
Coming future, the near future.
Beautiful. So, what was that one method which is your go to method that you'll always reach out to whenever you want to kind of streamline things?
Uh, Two things actually. One is something called as the mirror talk and the gratitude prayer. Those two things help me uh, keep myself in a positive frame of mind. I'd like to do that every single day after my workouts early in the morning. So even before the day starts, I'm an early riser, so even before my everyone start their day, without using my phone, get a physical routine and then do my prayers is one of the ultimate go-to techniques or routines for me. The second is balancing out my chakras, which is something I learned in Wintender. Be it chanting the chakra sounds or other techniques to balance it. That helps me keep alignment to what I'm doing at all point of time, which I should do more often. Yes, those are my two go-to methods.
All right. And as we were talking, that you're one rare species of phoenix who is very perseverant in getting things done. So, is there one particular tip or learning that you want to share with everybody so that they can also develop that capability?
There are a lot of things that I would actually like to share, but I'll just simplify it into 2 or 3 points. One is learn to let go. There's no point in holding on to uh, any sort of negative experiences you've had in life, any sort of traumas you would have gone through, any baggages that you would have knowingly or unknowingly carried. That is something, if every single person works on, they can, how would you put it, live the best version of themselves. Second is be open to learning at any single point of time. Like be it from a janitor or be it from the managing director of a company, there is something to learn from every single person. Uh, Stay humble in this entire process. Those are three things that I wish.
Very nice. So, as a phoenix, what is the quality that you resonate with the most?
For most people who know what the phoenix is, when a phoenix grows old and when it is on the verge of dying, it catches flame and it burns down into ashes. Uh, if you look at it from a perspective of any living being that catches fire and ends up in ashes, you feel that that person or that living being is dead or it's no more. But the phoenix has a quality of rising from its ashes, but it's reborn from its ashes. That is the quality I'd like to resonate to, or that I tell myself every single day. No matter how beat down or hard situations are or life throws at me, I make sure I catch up. And like, if it's getting too overwhelming, I catch up into flames and I am reborn to address that situation. Uh, I may struggle, but I will not give up. I will not give up. To with respect to any situations in life, it can be done. You just have to be persistent with respect to your approach.
Beautifully put. So, thank you for sharing your story and wishing you much higher heights and more success stories that you can
Thank
come
you.
and always share with all of us.
Grateful to the entire community of Wintender, and thank you so much.
Thank you.